Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Home of Politics. I appreciate your support so much. Feel at home and please continue sharing my videos, commenting, and do not forget to turn on the notification button so that you remain updated. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the attack by the leaders due to the rise of fuel prices, we see it has reasons, and the one that I was concerned with so much is that attack of Alfred Keter from Kericho. And we see this is a leader who was in previous regime, but due to several factors right now is not in the government. According to how Alfred Keter was delivering his speech during the funeral services, he was very painful and bitter, and it could be read all over him. He had a lot of pain while he was addressing the people, but he addressed President William Ruto directly, and he said he is not fearing anything. But according to how he was speaking with courage, it seems that rebellion or rejection is cooking in the hometown of President William Samoei Ruto, and some of the locals are beginning to agree slowly with this issue of Alfred Keter. This is because when he was delivering his speech, locals were very cheerful and happy on the progress as he is attacking the government 100%. He also thought he should speak the truth on his side, because even if he sits with the truth, it will not help anything during this economic crisis. And for Keter, he just decided to speak the facts according to how he sees the government and where the government is leading Kenyans. And we know that the areas like Nandi, Gishu, Kericho, these are stronghold for UDA, but this is one of the people who is coming out to resist President William Samoei Ruto leadership with the locals, and this shows that there is something that is being planned in future, and it can be very serious if the president cannot be very careful.
And I'm not about to change, and I have no apologies to make. Because unless you say as it is, there are many people who will suffer. Uswaje Kenya. Na mimi nataka kuomba wana Secretary General, what you mentioned about delocalization is bothering many teachers. And it will be worse because the fuel has been increased and the cost of transport will be crazy that no teacher will afford. The cost of living is on another level. You stood on a platform of bottom up, kusaidia wale wanyonge alafu waende juu. Lakini sasa hivi mmesahau, mkiongeza fuel mnatesa wale wa chini zaidi kushinda wale wa juu. Ngo mmoja wako kwa fuel tubote sio na mtu waje kututisha hapo kidogo atio pagile moto bu amu serikali kwa mwa mami yage rubuti kwa kitu sawa basi simuko hapa mkitoka hapa mtuonyeshe petrol stations ya watu wa serikali na ile ya opposition magenge ngivya mandazi gete bekele ngono anane na muziki mwambie tio sijini watu wa mwako za tuweka sasa wanaona mimi mwende kimi mimi mangu anane Kasan, there are many people who are languishing in poverty. The school fees has been increased. The cost of living is on another level. And you spoke on the same basis. Mulisema yule rais ambaye alitoka hapo anajua kuongoza, hata mimi nikakubali. Lakini nyinyi you have made worse than Uhuru Kenyatta. Anane, ukasa kuune maisha mauli? Anane. Mamisa hizo yeye. Mamisa hizo yeye. Kasi hata chata tumul jamaa tumaliza. Wala ndio hapa. Jamaa mmoja asikia baika hiyo mama mmoja asikia hapa. Mbona unataka? Hata bikeleni mandangaleta kama weka mkono juu wale wote wanasema ni ukweli. Asante sana. May my uncle rest in eternal peace. Thank you so much.
According to the speech that Alfred Keter delivered, it is obvious that he is not fearing any consequences that can come on his side when he is hitting the government directly. Again, he is reminding us on the promises that the president was giving out during the campaign season, yet it is not being fulfilled right now. And for him, he is putting it right clearly, but the shocking statement that is bitter to the government of Kenya Kwanza is that the president who is sitting now, President William Samoei Ruto, has done more worse than Uhuru Kenyatta, that is the former president. Why do you think this leader or this person is trying to compare President William Samoei Ruto and the former regime? Why? And why do you think Alfred Keter just decided to attack President William Samoei Ruto directly? And remember, the supporters of William Ruto are there in plenty. Diehards like Senator Aaron Cherargei was present, and all the officials from that region were present who are in UDA. Why do you think he decided to do the attack directly in front of these leaders from UDA? Ladies and gentlemen, there is a very big reason that is existing for Alfred Keter to bring out his pain before the public. And one of the reasons is, the biggest key reason is, there have been a long time existing enmity between Alfred Keter and President William Samoei Ruto. We remember in the previous regime that was leading Kenya was Jubilee. President William Samoei Ruto was in Jubilee. Keter also was in Jubilee. But after the issue of handshake, Jubilee was being seen experiencing some weaknesses, where President William Samoei Ruto decided to take his route and the other members of Jubilee decided to follow the president and their direction. And we see when handshake came, it is evident that Keter remained in support of Raila Amolo Odinga, and this was bringing change and difference in ideologies between him and William Ruto. It is evident that during the time of campaigns, William Ruto was under UDA and he was influencing every leader or every aspirant in his region to stand in the UDA ticket so that they can unify the whole of the region to be under one party, that is UDA. And knowing very well that Alfred Keter have been a very close ally of Raila Amolo Odinga, it made UDA and President William Samoei Ruto to deny Alfred Keter a ticket to stand or to vie as a governor in his county, because he knew that whenever this person has been given a ticket to vie as a governor or as a leader under UDA, it will still be possible for Alfred Keter to connect and continue liaising with the opposition, and this will bring in problem with his ruling. And it is not until when during nomination Alfred Keter was denied a ticket, leading to him losing a seat to another UDA member who won the seat as a governor. And we see even after following up the case to the court, he still was defeated and he did not succeed. And during the campaign of election period, we see it is very clear that the allies or the supporters of William Ruto were campaigning against Alfred Keter, and they were saying that they were urging the voters not to elect someone who has a different opinion or different mindset with William Samoei Ruto, because this person will bring in complication with the opposition. And Alfred Keter did not give up. He decided to vie as an independent candidate, but he lost the seat. And so because of this pain that it has been existing since from 2022 during the election period, Alfred Keter decided to destroy President William Samoei Ruto openly, publicly, before his supporters, and fuel prices was the basic reason and the best opportunity for him to destroy President William Samoei Ruto. Another reason we see resistance is cooking. We know that Rift Valley region, especially those areas that are dominated with Kalenjins, are 100% stronghold of President William Samoei Ruto. But how comes Keter is also from this region and some of the locals, but they are destroying the president? They are not supporting him or speaking good things about the president. This is to show that resistance is coming. And for instance, it is not that Alfred Keter got 0 votes on the polls. He got more than 7,000 votes, and this shows that in those locations, opposition or supporters of Raila Amolo Odinga plus Alfred Keter are very many, because his opponent scored 10,000 votes. So there was only a difference of 4,000 votes or 3,000 votes. And this means that if Alfred Keter can work so hard in influencing the people in this period, come 2027, Alfred Keter can have a lot of influence from the Azimio la Umoja coalition, defeating the UDA leaders who are present in those regions. And this is just to show the president and his brigades from UDA that a resistance is being planned, and this resistance can be successful if Alfred Keter is using the weaknesses of the government to convince the locals. And once the locals have decided to reject their own person from hometown, then it means that he cannot be accepted very well, because we know areas like Uasin Gishu, Kericho, Nandi, we regard those areas like the home place of President William Samoei Ruto. And if these locals can just reject their own person, then we see the possibility of opposition being live again in those regions in Rift Valley is very high, and competitors from UDA will have a very difficult task to uproot opposition in these regions. We also see that there is another reason. Alfred Keter was motivated very much by government officials who decided to help the opposition to oversight the government. These leaders include Ndindi Nyoro and others. We see that, David Ndii, not Ndindi Nyoro. David Ndii is an advisor of president on matters of economic of the nation. And if this person who is a closest person who is relied upon by the nation to give the analysis of our economy comes out strongly and condemns the government, he is being supported by other leaders like Moses Kuria, then it means that Alfred Keter and other leaders or other people who are having different opinions in terms of ruling of the government right now, we see they have been motivated so much by the decision of government officials. And the step that David Ndii took to criticize the government, it did not just bring an open forum for people to air out their ideas, but it also promoted a lot of courage to some of the leaders to stand out and bring their ideas. We see in the side of opposition, they have had a lot to talk, and they have remained silent right now because the leader of opposition said they collected enough signatures, and those signatures are just enough, and they will take a different step. But right now he is very quiet. We don't know what next will happen by the opposition. And we see the courage that Alfred Keter obtained to criticize and to attack President William Samoei Ruto publicly. It is just what David Ndii propagated, because if your own ally can fight you, then he is giving the space for other people to fight you. And the issue of attacking the president was just motivated by David Ndii and other officials from the government who decided to criticize the government. Ladies and gentlemen, it is evident that Alfred Keter is very painful up to now. Hearing his speech, how he was attacking the government, and the solution that he is going to offer, on the fuel prices. In fact, he said that they should show us the pump for fuel for people from the government and from opposition. Let us see if they use the different fuel. That one is like a mockery to the government, and we see that was the only platform that he could use to destroy President William Samoei Ruto. And in presence of strong leaders like Cherargei, this is a senator from Nandi, and we see this is just but to tell them that the opposition is not sleeping. We all know that Alfred Keter was previously in Jubilee, and after he was denied a ticket in UDA, he vied as an independent candidate. He had at least some voters who voted him. It means that he still have influence in the ground. If the UDA could not have interfered with the nomination processes and other things, then it means that he could stand a high chance to become the governor. And now that he still have his supporters in the regions that it is believed to be stronghold of President William Samoei Ruto, then it means Ruto should be very careful come 2027, because we see it is just a journey that Alfred Keter has started to revive the opposition, which is still strong in the region that is being regarded as the stronghold of President William Samoei Ruto. And it is very clear that he can have that ability to mobilize the locals